When it comes to many games, I'm a chronic resetter. I have a bad habit of resetting because the idea of starting fresh sounds a lot better than just picking up where I left off after taking a break for a few months. But I'm trying to break that habit. Ever since the Animal Crossing New Horizons 3.0 update, I had thought about starting a new island because I wanted to iron out the issues I had with my last island, of which I only started 4 months ago. I would hope that this would be the last time I start a new island, because hopefully, I'll replace my old one with the one I'm starting now. That old island is currently on my Switch 2, and I'll be using my Switch 1 for this new island. The reason why? Nope, I'm gonna stop myself right there. Do not look at what's on screen. You are not allowed. I'm going to be using some external tools to make my New Horizons experience just a little bit easier. Uh, yeah. Anyway. Now, before I go over my first few days on the island, I want to point out that I'm starting the game at midnight. Not only because it's going to take a while with all the resetting in case I don't get the native fruit and starting layout that I'm happy with, but also since the day resets at 5 a.m., once I'm finished with the first day, all I can do is simply wait for the clock to roll over to 5 and start my second day. I will also try to document my time in Happy Home Paradise. Not everything I do in the DLC, but I'll track whenever I unlock something through Paradise Planning that I could take back to my home island, or I'll just make a side video about it. Also, since I got my Switch 2, I put my Switch 1 dock directly on top of my bed frame, and in order to record this, I had to move it to my desk. It's a huge mess, but it holds most of my Nintendo systems, and the headphone stand I don't use because my headphones are hooked onto my PS3 instead. I'm weird. Anyway, without further ado, let's move on to my brand new island. I don't know why I'm using my Joy-Cons. I miss my Pro Controller. Where the hell is it? It's somewhere. Oh, I need to charge it. Let's get into Animal Crossing and start my brand new island. Day 0 begins with me in the airport checking into Nook Inc.'s deserted island getaway package. I told them my name, and I expected to do this for a few hours, because of all the resetting that I'd have to do. Also, if this is your first video, which chances are it probably is because this is the first video I've ever uploaded to this YouTube channel, my name is Elise, but my middle name is Alexis, and I tend to put that name for a lot of characters or self-insert characters that I have in all the games that I play. So like many RPGs or other life sim games, I would usually just put my middle name instead of my first name just because I think it sounds nicer. Anyway, there's a specific island layout that I'm looking for. I want 2 south river mouths, and I want cherries to be my native fruit. If I'm lucky enough, I want this very particular West Peninsula and the dock on the exact same side. Whatever I can't get, I'll get with my and after a bit, I had found the perfect island layout. The only thing is that this better be cherries, or I'm gonna be pissed. Apples. Okay, I'm not complaining. Listen, I like apples. I really want cherries, though. I really want cherries. I'm making such a bad decision, but I really want cherries. Eventually, I took a break. Then once I booted up the game again, I got what I wanted on the second reset. Not exactly, but nothing that can't be fixed with. After talking to my starters, Phoebe and Igly, I meet the man himself, Tom Nook. I changed my clothes because I really didn't like my starting clothes. I placed down my tent and helped my neighbors find a spot to place theirs. Next, we prepare to have a nice little welcome party. After chipping in, we get to name the island, leaving it up to a vote. To go a little off topic, in the original Animal Crossing for the GameCube, if you connect your GBA to the system before starting the game, Cap'n will be by your dock, where he'll take you to a sort of personal island. Upon your first visit, you'll have to name the island. I've done this before, and I named my island Amora. So, in reference to that island in the past, that's what I'm going to name my Animal Crossing New Horizons island. It seemed like everyone else liked the idea too, as that's the name that everyone was clapping for, and because of that, somehow I'm now the resident representative of Amora, and after literally saying a word or two, the festivities begin. Oh dear. You see, this is my computer cursor. It's a Weave remote pointer. But this visual bug is a problem. After a great time, I finally have time to unpack my belongings. What, you thought I'd just move on to Amora empty-handed? Where'd you think I got these clothes from? And of course I needed to bring something to kill time, you kidding? Anyway, I headed to sleep. Had a dream about my goat, dog, KK Slider, thus ending day 0. After the day syncs with my Switch's clock, day 1 can finally begin. Nook wakes me up at 12:30 to give me a phone, a free app, and debt. Awesome! Thankfully, I can also pay in miles, so that's infinitely less time consuming. So that's something I'll be chipping at throughout the day. Next, there's also a DIY workshop being held in Resident Services. Seeing as that's the easiest thing to do, I get that out of the way, donate 5 creatures to Nook, and put down Blathers' tent. Then I simply just grind out 5,000 miles. I do a little bit of decorating, fix up my outer acres with and... Oops. There's 2 docks. Anyway, it took a little longer than I thought, but regardless, starting tomorrow I'll officially be a homeowner. Nothing left to do now but wait until the day rolls over. But before that, I use a save editor to bring over some custom designs for my previous island, change the sister fruit and flowers, and copy my weather seed for Meteor Nook, and that's all. Sunrise is the prettiest in this game. Anyway, day 2 begins with me making a sandwich for myself at 1 AM. So Tom Nook will just be standing there for a few minutes. Anyway, Blathers is here, and so are a few other packages that I ordered and letters that got sent to me. And my house! Right! It's really empty for now, but I'll fill it up when I choose to decorate it. With that out of the way... Oh, right. This. This would be the most tedious thing to do today if I didn't prepare for it ahead of time. I have to donate a stack of each type of wood and a stack of iron nuggets in order to open Nook's cranny. Oh, and also, I'm in debt again, but I got a free Nook Miles ticket waiting for me at the airport. After running into wasps while gathering wood, I quickly run into Blathers' tent. So I decided to talk to Blathers and help him out with building the museum. I need 15 more donations of any kind, and so that's another thing I have to do today. I like letting him yap because I feel bad saying no, unless it's an insect because I know he hates bugs. Iggly gives me a denim cap that looks a lot better with my all-black outfit, so I put it on. I donate 30 pieces of wood, try to grab iron nuggets, but my luck is horrible. Either way, I continue donating to Blathers and prove to him that there are fossils on Amora that can be showcased in the museum. I donate 30 pieces of hardwood to Timmy, then I find a glowing spot in the ground. I dug it up, buried the 1,000 bells I got in it so it can grow into a bell tree. Anyway, I hit another rock and... Dude, come on. After running into some pocket management issues, I get stung by wasps. But I got a cozy looking fireplace, then donated 30 softwood to Timmy. I only need one more donation to get the museum built. Iggly is so kind as to give me more iron nuggets, bumping my total up to 12. So then I decided to take advantage of that Nook Miles ticket and go on a mystery tour. But before that... Oops, that's not normal. and the issue is fixed. Before I go on a mystery tour, I got 4 more iron nuggets. Right as I go into the airport, I see Gulliver dead on the floor. I ignore him by accident, and I go on that tour. I run into Celia and convince her to move to Amora. She looks so cute. Anyway, I gather coconuts, get the last creature I need to donate to open the museum, and... seriously? Alright, desperate times, scummy measures. I duplicated the 24 iron nuggets I got now, and I finally have more than enough nuggets to open Nook's Cranny. I also woke up Gulliver and helped him out. Then I placed down Nook's Cranny, and placed down the coconuts I brought from the Mystery Island. And to finish out day 2, everyone on the island decides to do some early morning stretches. I went to sleep for the night, and then woke up at around 8 in the morning to watch that Pokemon Presents on the 27th. I fully expected that my island would still be on day 2, so after that, I thought I was gonna do some material gathering off camera. But right before I booted up the game, I fixed my Switch's clock, and I didn't realize that the next day had passed. So, we're moving on to day 3 instead. I hope you guys know that I've been snapping pictures each day because I think it's cute. I got off my phone because Iggly wanted to teach me what feelings are. How nice. I visit Nook's Cranny and I run into Mabel. Hi, bye. Speaking of buying, I buy a couple things for my house and some flower seeds, and then I plant some flowers around the museum and decorate my house a little bit. Anyway, on to the most grueling part of day 3, the 3 houses. I have to build a bridge out of log stakes, and the bulk crafting really helps expedite the process, I cannot lie. I place the bridge and connect this small little island to the mainland. Now, it's time to furnish each of these houses by crafting furniture and placing them around the vicinity or inside the bin. And here is the most useful part of the 3 houses section that got introduced with version 3.0. The requests page. It is genuinely so useful. Not only will you see everything that you need to make all in one simple tab, but you can see how much progress you're making because as you craft each item, there are less and less requests. The way I tackle this is that I place down the 3 plots, then craft every item I can right at that moment. Thanks to crafting from storage, that is a hell of a lot easier. And then I can easily manage what I want to craft from whatever's missing. Phoebe was extremely kind to give me a Nook Miles ticket to help me gather iron nuggets and clay from rocks because I'd have a much easier time doing it there. Because that worked so well last time. Anyway, the only annoying issue was pocket space, and that's on me because I didn't save up for the pocket expansion yet. After that, I was done. And I'll be honest, it only took an hour, and I actually enjoy this part of the game now that all these quality of life changes got added. Hey, also, if you hear the lack of a fan in the background just whirring and stuff, that's a good thing. I just managed to, get some noise reduction all up in this microphone mid-recording, so, that's nice. Anyway, to end things off, and since I have the rest of the day to relax, I decide to hold a ceremony for Nook's Cranny today. I also craft this huge workbench for myself to place in my house. Anyway, that rounds out day 3. All I can do now is simply wait for Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude to move into their 3 houses while enjoying island life for the next couple of days. Day 4 officially begins with the museum opening, Celia officially moving in, and a customization workshop that Nook is offering. Phoebe and Iggly both get their own houses, so I decide to pop in and say hi to each of them. I also bumped into Harvey, so I'll have access to his photo studio that I never use, but there's one particular use that I have in mind. Anyway, Mabel was by Resident Services selling clothes and stuff, so I bought a couple of accessories, and as it's the weekend, I'd assume that she'd be here on Sunday as well. I also greet Celia as she moved into the island, and the museum is open, so I walk in and check in on Blathers. I also just realized that I haven't checked any of the other plots to see who else is moving in, so I decided to check them right now. Cube? What a cutie, I love him. Not a dreamy, but I'm not complaining. Lastly, Pinky is moving in. I like her too. I upgrade my pocket space and take part in a customization workshop to finish all the big things I wanted to take care of on camera. Is that New Leaf music? I never knew that that was in the game. That's nice. I craft a wooden wardrobe, then give it a nice wood recolor to match the dark wood vibe I want to have in my house. That's all the things that I recorded on camera, but I did a few things off camera as well. I held a ceremony in the rain to celebrate Amora's beautiful new museum, and I held a ceremony for the very first bridge I placed on the island. I think it's important since we have access to more of the island, even if it's just a little spot. Last but not least, I visit Harv's Island. The only reason why I'd visit the photo studio is to unlock villagers' posters with Amiibo, and to instantly unlock all the Sanrio, Zelda, and Splatoon items. And with that, day 4 is done. I'd like to point out that for the rest of the video, you'll be seeing clips and pictures that I took on my Switch. I rapid fired through the rest of the days to finish up gathering footage all in one night, and I didn't feel like booting up my computer at 3 AM to record, even though I definitely should've now that I'm looking back on it now. Oh well. Since I decided to commit to the island, I enabled Nook Link so I could do all that fun stuff. Anyway, day 5 begins and nothing interesting happens. Not even Mabel was there, but that's probably because Red showed up for the first time. I bought some art from him, and I made sure that it was legit before I bought it. But aside from that, nothing else really of note happens. Oh, but since it was Sunday, I ordered turnips for the first time. Day 6 begins with... oops. Pinky's moving into the island, and Tom Nook announces that he'll upgrade the Resident Services tent into a building. In the mail, I receive a letter from Luna, an invitation to the Dream Suite. At the end of the video, I'll give you Amora's dream address, so stick around. Or you could also look in the description, but I want you to stay until the end of the video. Not much is happening on the island once again, but I did notice that the grass is getting greener, which is awesome because that means spring is coming and winter is ending. Oh, but Gulliver fell overboard again, and I took a picture with him. It's been 1 week since I lived on the island, and there's nothing new to announce. Resident Services is closed, and I'm really looking forward to having the building and Isabelle be a part of the island. I'm saving up big for the next Pocket expansion, and Red is back, so I bought a statue to donate to the museum. I also got a wand, but nothing to do with it yet. I also went swimming for the first time too, so that way I could donate some deep-sea creatures to Amora's museum. I also ran into Pascal, and he just dropped a straight truth nuke on me. Aside from that, nothing too noteworthy happens that day, just some bits of decorating here and there. As I was gathering footage, I also decided that I'll be dedicating certain videos to just full-on building certain parts of my island. That could always change, honestly. It could, and it might, but I'm just saying this as a disclaimer. I'm not making any promises here, but I'm not opposed to the idea. Lastly, I sold my turnips for double the price I bought them, which is awesome. Hey, that rhymed. I just noticed that. It's my first time actually doing the whole turnip stock market business, and I'm not one to take risks anyway. Day 8. And Resident Services is now a building, and Leaf is here too. and Isabel! With this, I can finally have hourly music, I can place bridges and inclines, and I can change my island's flag and tune. If you can't already tell, I really love Super Mario. I love it to death. My town flag is based off of the Amora Island flag that I made on my GameCube. It's not, I don't have a GameCube, I have a Wii, but you know what I mean. So, now that Leaf is here, it's time for some spring cleaning. I'm going to spend hours upon hours literally picking up every single weed on the island and cashing them in to him. But before that, I say hi to Tom Nook and Isabel, and the Nook man himself reveals to me that to celebrate Amora's growth, he'll get KK Slider to perform on the island. My goat, that's my goat right there. Project K begins with me constructing a campsite for the island. This is meant to increase the number of tourists that can come by. And next, I just have to improve the overall image of the island. And here's where I really start having to think about how I want my island to look. But without terraforming unlocked, I can't completely transform the island yet. I did make a list of stuff that I'd want to start designing, and hopefully with that, it'll get me the 3-star rating I need. Anyway, I pay off my debt, so now I'm living debt-free. Awesome. But as of right now, I have no desire to expand, but I eventually will when I run out of storage space, which hasn't happened yet. Next, I talk to Leaf, who is selling bushes and carrots, of which I buy. And I plant the carrots next to my house, so I have my own mini carrot farm. Then I build the campsite and place it down. And now, it's time to pick up all the weeds from my island. I actually wish I recorded this properly now. Okay, it really didn't actually take hours like I thought. It only took like 30 minutes. 20,000 bells just for cleaning up my island? I'm certainly not complaining at all. That's awesome. And to end the day, I hold a ceremony for the new resident services building. Kicking off day 9, Isabel is now doing the island broadcasts. The campsite is open and I can play Happy Home Paradise now, but we can ignore that as that's something I'll work on whenever the heck I feel like it. Mabel is finally back after what felt like forever, and I hold a ceremony for the campsite. On day 10, Henry is staying at the campsite, and I move them in. Really, that's everything. On day 11, Mabel has the customer base she needs to build her shop, so I place it. And Henry finally moves in. I skipped day 12 because, nothing really happens other than, decorating, waiting for Able Sisters to be built, blah da da blah da da blah blah blah. And lastly, the final day that I'll be covering in this video, day 13. The Able Sisters is now open, so Amora has a local tailor shop, and I hold a ceremony for it. I'm also all swagged out. In about 2 weeks, this island has went from a deserted island to a small, happy little community that's still growing. Here's how my house looks after those days passed. It's coming along nice, I will admit. Before I end off the video, here's Amora's dream address, and here's my creator code. Feel free to download any of the designs I upload over here. They'll also be in the description, and now I feel okay saying that because you guys actually made it to the end of the video. I will also be updating the dream as I make progress building the island. But with all that said, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it and are interested to see more, be sure to subscribe. I'll most likely upload more videos in the future, decorating my island, doing Happy Home Paradise, opening up the hotel and the cafe, and all that stuff. And with that, bye! My Switch is homebrewed, by the way. Shut the fuck!